Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we are going to do introduction to organic chemistry, and in the later following videos, we are going to cover all the topics of organic chemistry till the alkenes. Now, before we begin, you need to know the types of formulas that we may encounter in organic chemistry. The first kind of formula is already familiar to us, which is the molecular formula. Then the third kind of formula that we have written over here as the expanded structural formula is looks somewhat like this, in which we just need to show the bonds of every element in a diagrammatic way, and we have the 3D structural formula, which is not required from us to be drawn by us. Now, there is another kind of formula that we have, which is known as the empirical formula, which is basically the ratio of elements that are present in a compound. Let's take an example for the empirical formula. In the molecular formula for ethane, we have C2H6. In order to find the ratio of the elements carbon to hydrogen, we are going to divide and take the simplest number out of 2 and 6. So if we divide them by the same number, we get C as 1 and H as 3. So this becomes the ratio formula or the empirical formula. For butane, it will be C2H5. So this is basically the ratio. Moving forward, we need to understand what are organic compounds. Now, organic compounds, we have already been familiar with them. We haven't really studied them, but we know that they are present in our surroundings. They are naturally occurring or they are man-made substances. And they're very common things such as the food we eat and our hair. And if we talk about man-made, they're the plastics, the fertilizers, and the detergents that we use in our daily life. They are known as the organic compounds. They are made up of organic compounds. These structures are very complex, but we are going to be introduced to organic compounds through a very basic and a fundamental way. So firstly, they are covalent bonds, as the definition of organic compound is suggesting. Now, just to review for what are covalent bonds are those which are present for non-metal to non-metal bonding, like carbon and hydrogen bonds to make a covalent bond, and there is sharing of electrons and not complete transfer of electrons. Moving on, most of these organic compounds, they contain the element carbon. Now, when there are almost most of the organic compounds, they do contain the element carbon, but there are some organic compounds which are known as the hydrocarbons. What are they? Hydrocarbons are those organic compounds that only contain the element hydrogen and carbon. They do not have oxygen, they do not have other nitrogen or etc that is added. Only carbon and hydrogen will make a hydrocarbon. There can be multiple kinds of hydrocarbons, and we're going to study it when we're going to study the homologous series. Moving forward, what is a homologous series? Now, before we begin with the homologous series, you need to recall that in the periodic table, we have groups. Now, as the groups in the periodic table, there are elements that have been classified into groups. And on what basis are the elements classified? Because of their chemical properties, because of their structure, and because of their trend in physical properties, right? Like we have the first group as lithium, sodium, potassium. So they have a similar properties. That's why they are in a particular group. The homologous series is basically the classification of organic compounds. There are numerous organic compounds. There are very complex ones and there are very simple ones as well. In order to classify them on the basis of their structure and the basis of their properties, we have made homologous series. In a homologous series, we have several organic compounds, and these compounds, they have the same chemical properties. They have the same chemical properties and they experience trends in physical properties. They also have the same functional group. What is a functional group? At this stage, I'm just telling you that functional group is an identity, and if any compound is given to us and we can identify that it has this functional group, then we can easily classify it in a particular homologous series. Let's consolidate this concept by taking some examples. There are 4 homologous series that we have in our syllabus. The first one is alkanes, the second is alkenes, then alcohols and carboxylic acids. In alkanes, you can see that the functional group region is empty. Why is that? Because alkanes don't really have a functional group, or we can say that they have only single bonds between carbon and hydrogen, and that is why we say that there is no functional group. As compared to alkenes, we can say that they have double carbon carbon bonds. The two lines that are between the carbons, they suggest that there is double bond between carbon and carbon. Now what does the double bond mean? We know that they are covalently bonded, and covalent bonds is sharing of electrons. Let's assume that carbon is sharing two electrons with the other carbon, that will make a double bond. But if carbon shares only one electron with the other carbon, and the other carbon also shares only one electron with the previous carbon, then they have only one bond. Any organic compound which will have double bond in between in the structural formula, you can see easily that will be alkenes. Any organic compound that has OH, as you can see in the alcohols, will be an alcohol, and a carboxylic acid, we have the functional group as COOH. So this is basically an identity. Now let's move on to the general formula. For alkanes, we are given the general formula as CnH2n plus 2, and for alkenes we have CnH2n, and so on. The general formula is a formula that we have derived so that we can find any alkane in a particular series. Like in alkanes, we have CnH2n plus 2. The first member of the series is methane. The second is ethane, then propane, then butane. As you can see that they have some number of carbon and hydrogen present in their compounds. They are all the carbon and hydrogen, they're following a particular pattern. Like in methane, we have one carbon and we have four hydrogens. In ethane, we have two carbon and we have six hydrogens. So the pattern that they are following is basically generalized to be CnH2n plus 2. Moving on, you just need to memorize these general formulas, and you need to remember the functional groups as well. Okay, well, in any compound that doesn't have these three functional groups, then you can ultimately say that it is an alkane, because these are the fours that are included in our syllabus. Now, every carbon can make four bonds, and we have discussed this. Now we need to do the naming process, which is the last part of the video as well. The naming process consists of two rules. The first rule is to know the number of carbons. And the second rule that we have is to know the homologous series to which the organic compound belongs. Okay. In the knowing the number of carbon, if the compound has only one carbon, we will associate it with meth. Then we have eth for 2, prop for 3. Just like we have 1, 2, 3, 4 for carbons, we have meth, eth, prop, bute, pent, hex, hept, oct, non, and dec for the number of carbons that are present in a compound. And this needs to be memorized by all of you. The second part consists of the homologous series. We have studied four homologous series: alkanes, alkenes, carboxylic acids, and alcohols. Now, if we have alkanes, then we are going to add, after we know that let's just take an example as methane. We have only one carbon in methane, so we are going to write meth. And then after we have decided the number of carbon, we're going to add the last part of the name, which is the homologous series. And for alkanes, we have ane, which needs to be added, such as this ane. If it would have been ene, then after meth we would be adding ene to make it methene. And just like that, it will become methanol for alcohol. So this is the naming process. You need to remember the carbon names, meth, eth, prop, and then you need to know which compound belongs to which series, and you're going to add the suffix of that particular series as ane, ene, and ol.